All right, so you're prepping for a cake press operator interview. Let's dive into this world of hydraulic presses and molten plastic. You're like the conductor of this powerful machine, right? You're shaping the raw materials into these sturdy plastic sheets that we see in like everything,
Mm.
from car parts to toys.
Yeah, it's a really cool blend of precision problem solving and a little touch of artistry.
Exactly. We've got some really cool resources from RoleCatcher. It's a platform that's all about, helping you land that dream job. And they've hooked us up with some career guides, interview guides, even some AI that can analyze job descriptions and help you tailor your answers. So our mission here is to get you prepped, get you confident and ready to nail this interview.
Preparation is key. That's where RoleCatcher really shines. Having their AI is like having a personal coach who can kind of decode what employers are really looking for in your responses.
Okay, so let's jump right into some of these interview questions. RoleCatcher provided us with 10 common questions. The first one is, can you describe your experience working with cake press machines?
So if you're entry level, you might not have direct experience with that specific machine. And that's okay. Instead of focusing on what you haven't done, you really want to highlight any transferable skills.
Okay, so if you've worked with other machinery, even if it's something as simple as like a home espresso machine, talk about it.
Exactly. You want to focus on things like, your meticulous attention to detail, your ability to follow instructions precisely, or even how quickly you can learn new processes. They really want to see that you're a fast learner and you can handle technical equipment.
Okay, and what about follow-up questions? They might ask, what's the most complex machine that you've operated? Or, tell me about a time when you had to troubleshoot a technical issue.
Be ready with a specific example. You really want to walk them through your thought process, how you identified the problem, the steps that you took to solve it, and what the outcome was.
Okay, the next question is, how do you ensure that the plastic chips are evenly distributed?
This is one that goes beyond just pressing buttons. It shows that you understand the process. So you want to talk about things like visual checks, using gauges to monitor consistency, maybe even adjusting the flow of chips as needed.
So you're not just an operator, you're like a problem solver.
Exactly. And to make your answers even stronger, you can even use RoleCatcher's AI. You can input the job description and it'll highlight the keywords related to skills that they're seeking.
So it's like a cheat sheet, making sure you're speaking their language.
Exactly. All right, moving on to question number 3. How do you troubleshoot issues with the cake press machine?
Ah.
This is your chance to shine as a critical thinker.
So don't just say, I'd call maintenance.
Right. You want to outline like a systematic approach, explain how you'd pinpoint the issue, whether it's checking gauges, inspecting the mold, listening for any odd sounds, and then describe the steps to resolve it.
And emphasize, safety precautions throughout the process.
Absolutely. And they might even ask you something like, what's the most challenging technical problem you faced and how did you solve it?
And that's where a really well-prepared anecdote from your past experience can make a huge difference.
Definitely. Okay, question number 4. How do you ensure that the plastic sheets meet the quality standards?
This one just screams, attention to detail.
Absolutely. You want to demonstrate that you are a stickler for quality. Talk about visual inspections, dimensional checks. Are the sheets the correct thickness? And using tools to assess the sheet's consistency.
They want to know that you're not going to let any imperfections slip through.
Exactly. And think about potential follow-up questions like, what tools are you familiar with for quality control? Or have you ever had to reject a batch of sheets and why?
Yeah, it's all about showing that you understand the importance of quality in this manufacturing process. Okay, question number 5. How do you prioritize your tasks when operating the cake press machine?
So this one's really about showcasing your organizational skills. And your ability to handle multiple things at once. So think about how you'd plan your workday. Maybe you use checklists or production schedules to stay on track.
So you're painting this picture of someone who's efficient and can manage a busy workload.
Exactly. And be ready for that follow-up question like, tell me about a time when you had to adjust your priorities due to an unexpected issue.
Adaptability is key. You want them to see that you can handle surprises on the fly.
For sure. All right, question number 6. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a complex issue with the cake press machine?
Ah, the classic, tell me about a time question. I know RoleCatcher's AI can help with these.
It's a fantastic tool for this. You can input the job description, and the AI will highlight the skills that they're emphasizing. So you can choose an example that really showcases those strengths.
So if they're looking for problem-solving skills, You can talk about a time when you tackled a tricky technical issue.
Exactly. And don't just describe the problem. Really walk them through your thought process. What resources did you use? What was the outcome?
You're showing them how you think, not just what you did. Okay, question number 7. How do you ensure that you follow all the safety protocols when operating the cake press machine?
This one is crucial. You want to start by demonstrating your awareness of the protocols.
So things like lockout to kick grip procedures,
Yeah.
making sure that the machine is completely off before anyone works on it, proper use of personal protective equipment, like safety glasses and emergency shutdown procedures.
Exactly. You want to show that you're not just aware of the rules, but you live by them. And they might even ask you, what would you do if you saw a colleague not following safety procedures?
Well, that's a good one. It shows that you're thinking not only about your own safety, but everyone else's safety around you.
Right. All right. Question number 8. How do you ensure that the cake press machine is properly cleaned and maintained?
This one's all about preventative maintenance.
Exactly. Explain, your approach to cleaning, lubrication, and routine inspections, emphasizing your attention to detail. You might even mention, specific tools or techniques that you're familiar with.
They want to see that you understand that taking care of the equipment is crucial for productivity and safety.
Absolutely. And, be prepared for those follow-up questions. What are the signs of wear and tear on a cake press? Or how often should certain components be lubricated?
Knowledge is power. Okay, question number 9. Things get a little creative here. Can you describe your experience with recipe development for cake products?
They snuck in a little humor there. Even if you haven't developed cake recipes, you've likely experimented with different materials or techniques in your previous work.
Yeah, it's about demonstrating, that adaptability,
Yeah.
that willingness to think outside the box.
Exactly. So, share your approach to learning new things, researching best practices, and maybe even conducting some experiments.
You want to show that you're curious and you're not afraid to explore those new possibilities.
Definitely. Okay, last question. Can you describe a time when you had to train a new team member on operating the cake press machine?
Time to showcase those leadership skills and communication skills.
For sure. You want to choose an example that highlights your ability to break down complex procedures into simple steps. Think about how you demonstrated those procedures, provided constructive feedback, and ensured that the trainee was following all those safety guidelines.
So you're painting that picture of someone who can effectively share their knowledge and mentor others.
Exactly. And, they might ask you some follow-up questions there, like, what challenges did you face while training and how did you overcome them? Or what methods do you find most effective for training someone on new equipment?
So it's all about showcasing that ability to lead and train others effectively. Okay, so we covered a lot of ground with these interview questions, but before we move on, let's talk a little bit about the career insights from RoleCatcher. Their career guide provides a ton of valuable information about this industry.
Yeah, and one of the most encouraging things they highlight is that the manufacturing industry, particularly in plastics, is booming right now.
Yeah.
There's a growing demand for skilled individuals like cake press operators.
That's great news. So it's not just about getting this job, it's about stepping into a field with real potential.
Absolutely. We'll dive deeper into career insights and other ways RoleCatcher can help in the next part of our deep dive. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive into becoming a cake press operator. Before we jumped into those interview questions, we touched on how RoleCatcher's AI can give you an extra edge in your job search.
Yeah, it sounds almost too good to be true, like having a personal assistant for my job hunt.
It really is remarkable. Their AI goes beyond just looking for keywords. It digs deep, analyzing your resume and the specific job description to pinpoint the skills and experience that truly align with what the employer wants.
So instead of just blasting out, generic applications, I can use RoleCatcher's AI to make sure I'm highlighting the right stuff for each specific job.
Precisely. It's like having a virtual career coach who's whispering in your ear, hey, make sure you emphasize this skill, because that's what they're looking for.
That's awesome. Take some of the guesswork out of the whole application process. And the best part is it doesn't stop there. RoleCatcher's AI can also help you fine-tune your interview answers. You can practice answering common questions. And their AI provides feedback on how to make your answers clearer, more concise, and more impactful.
Wow. It's like having a mock interview with an expert who can pinpoint exactly where I need to improve.
Right. It's all about putting your best foot forward and making sure your skills and personality really shine through.
Okay, I'm definitely sold on this AI thing. But for now, let's get back to those interview questions. We left off talking about career insights from RoleCatcher's Career Guide.
Okay, so we've established that the manufacturing industry is booming. especially when it comes to plastics. But what about advancement opportunities? Is being a cake press operator a dead-end job?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, it'd be great to know that there's room for growth in this field.
Absolutely, and the good news is there is. RoleCatcher's career guide outlines several potential paths. With experience and continued learning, you can progress into supervisory roles, specialize in particular types of presses, or even move into other areas of manufacturing, like quality control or process improvement.
So there's real potential to build a long-term career in this industry.
Right, you're not limited to just one role. And RoleCatcher provides valuable information on what skills and certifications you might need to reach those higher level positions. It's like having a roadmap for your career journey.
That's super helpful. I like the idea of having a plan
Mm.
and knowing what steps to take to advance my career.
And remember, technology is constantly evolving, so continuous learning is key.
Yeah, you can't just rest on your laurels. You've got to stay up to date with the latest trends.
Exactly. And that's where RoleCatcher really shines. They offer a huge library of skill guides, online courses, and industry resources to keep you at the forefront of your field. It's like having a lifelong learning buddy.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I think it would be helpful to touch on some general tips for acing that interview.
Excellent idea. I think one of the most important things is to remember that you're not just presenting your skills and experience, you're telling your story. Weave a narrative that showcases your passion for this work, your commitment to producing high-quality products, and your desire to learn and grow.
So it's about showing them who I am as a person, not just what's on my resume.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to let your curiosity guide you. Asking thoughtful questions about the company, their products, or even the challenges of being a cake press operator demonstrates genuine interest and a proactive mindset.
That's a good tip. I often get so nervous in interviews that I forget to ask questions.
It's understandable to be nervous, but remember, confidence is key. You've put in the effort to prepare, you've honed your skills, and you have a passion for this field. Let that confidence shine through.
You're right. I need to believe in myself and my abilities. Any final words of wisdom?
Here's one last thought to chew on. What innovations in plastic manufacturing excite you?
That's a good question. Maybe the development of more sustainable materials, or the increasing use of robotics in the manufacturing process.
Exactly. Do a little research on those areas that spark your interest. It'll give you some great talking points for the interview, and also fuel your passion for this ever-evolving field.
That's brilliant advice.
Yeah.
It's not just about getting a job. It's about joining a field that's constantly innovating and pushing boundaries.
Precisely. And remember, RoleCatcher is there to support you every step of the way, providing the tools and resources you need to navigate your career and achieve your goals.
They really do seem like the ultimate career partner. Well, we've covered a ton of information in this deep dive, but before we say goodbye, I think we should highlight some key takeaways for our listeners.
Absolutely. We want to make sure they walk away feeling empowered and ready to conquer that interview.
All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into becoming a cake press operator. We've explored the role of it, we've tackled those tricky interview questions, and we've seen how RoleCatcher's AI can be a total game changer. So now let's crystallize all this knowledge into some actionable advice, for absolutely crushing that interview.
You've done the prep work, you've honed your skills, and you have this incredible resource in RoleCatcher. Now it's all about presenting yourself with confidence and authenticity.
Confidence is key. But how do we make sure that that confidence shines through? Especially when interviews can be so nerve-wracking.
It's about more than just reciting your qualifications. You know you're connecting with the interviewer on a human level, you're demonstrating your genuine enthusiasm for the work, and you're letting your personality shine through.
So it's okay to let a little bit of my personality show? I don't have to be like completely stoic and serious the whole time?
Absolutely. Enthusiasm is contagious. The interviewer wants to see that you're genuinely excited about this opportunity and that you'd be a great addition to their team. And one way to show that enthusiasm is by asking thoughtful questions.
Oh, right. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
But what kind of questions would really impress the interviewer?
Think about questions that demonstrate your interest in the company, their specific products, or even the challenges of being a cake press operator. Maybe ask about their sustainability practices or what kind of training and development opportunities they offer.
Okay, those are great examples. It shows that you're thinking beyond just getting the job. You're thinking about the long term and how you can contribute to the company's success.
Exactly. And here's one final thought to ponder before you head into that interview. What innovations in plastic manufacturing truly excite you?
That's a good one. I've been reading about the development of biodegradable plastics. That's fascinating to me.
That's a fantastic example. Do some research on those innovations that pique your interest. It'll not only provide you with some great talking points during the interview, but it'll also demonstrate your passion for this constantly evolving field.
So it's about showing them that I'm not just looking for a job. I'm embarking on this journey of continuous learning and discovery within this industry.
Precisely. And remember, RoleCatcher is your trusted companion on that journey, providing the tools, the resources, and the support you need to navigate your career path with confidence and achieve your goals.
They really are a fantastic resource for anyone looking to break into the manufacturing world. Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive. And I have to say, I feel so much more prepared for this interview.
That's fantastic to hear. Remember, you've got this. You've put in the work, you've honed your skills, and you have a genuine passion for this field. Let that confidence shine through, and you'll be well on your way to landing that kick press operator position.
All right, so to wrap things up for our listeners, you're not just walking into an interview. You're walking in prepared, informed, and ready to make a lasting impression. You've got the skills, you've got the knowledge, and you've got the confidence to succeed. And remember, the manufacturing industry needs talented individuals like you.
The future of innovation depends on it. So go out there, ace that interview, and make your mark on the world one perfectly pressed plastic sheet at a time.
We're rooting for you. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.